Who made up the inhabitants of Corinth? They were people who were free born. There were a lot of people who were ex-slaves who were freed, and also the slaves themselves of those people. They came from all over the Eastern Mediterranean, and they were the people who invested their energy in the new Roman Corinth. They came from Judea, Syria, Egypt, Phoenicia. They were in on the ground of a prime economic site. They had technical skills. They had served in important areas as slaves. They were builders. They had skills in finance and investing. They were plantation managers and educators, but none of them were Roman citizens. They were not allowed to be. Prosperous and wealthy described Corinth. Luxury and extravagance marked the city. It says much for Paul that he chose such a city as one of the two major points of his mission strategy, along with Ephesus. Corinth was set in the middle of rich farmland, the market center for a wealthy area. And if Christianity could be established in these places, it could be established anywhere. The mobility of converted Christians, the ease of transport for letters, they offered an incomparable advantage for the spread of the faith. But why was Corinth so wealthy? Its position and commerce made it so. 6-kilometer stretch. It mastered 2 harbors. One led to Asia, the other led to Italy. Stenchreae on the Aegean Sea to the east, and Lycaeum on the Gulf of Corinth to the west. The alternative to shipping goods across was to go around Cape Malea in the Peloponnese, and that was one rough area of sea. And there was a proverb of the time, it was a beauty. When you double Cape Malea, forget your home. You might do it once. You'd be very lucky to do it twice. It was cheaper and safer, and you got better insurance premiums if you transported your goods through Corinth. And wealth, of course, led to the return of the Isthmian or Corinthian Games, bringing prestige, a major source of revenue. Athletes from all the cities of the Greek world came to compete. Crowds came to watch. A sacred truce prevailed. The games meant great numbers, and Paul made converts who took the faith to areas he couldn't reach. And of course, they needed tents, and tent makers thrived. The games were not the responsibility of the city. It was one person, an elected citizen, a wealthy president. It required great wealth to be that citizen, and inscriptions on tombs tell of the contributions made, even feeding the whole city. And one delightful tomb has got a doting father talking about his daughter Hedea, who won the 200-meter sprint, and deriding the war chariot race, probably 2-horse race, at the Corinthian Games. She also was a musician because she won the lyre playing. What emerged? Read Paul, run the race, win the prize, train the body, and fight the good fight. And mottos become very interesting. Take the body of Christ. Where did that image come from? The temple of Asclepius, the god of healing, where the sick slept in these beautiful conditions there around the temple. They dreamed. The dream provided the basis for healing. And 2 walls of the museum there today have got all these body parts the terracotta bit of the body that was here, representation. And Paul, of course, this well made the origin of the body of Christ image, where members only had life if they were joined to Christ. The image of the body of Christ makes its first appearance in 1 Corinthians. Paul, strolling around the Asclepion, sees these ex votos offerings, and he realized that they're all dead unless they're joined to the body. The arm's truly an arm only when it's joined to the body, and we have life when we are joined to Christ.